Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric Supercar channel. This week we're going to see if we can fit some of those panels we made last week, and also I want to get the car back on the ground, take it for some rides. Got some new neighbors, see if we can take them out. Let's get to it. Alright, normally this would be reversed where I'd have the shell on and then this panel I would remove, but putting this in place kind of makes me realize kind of how I want to fix things. So again, I've got some good mounting points here. Again, there's a bar that goes here. So, and there's also steel there. So I'm gonna secure it a lot, but basically right here is where I'm a little worried, like if somebody's getting in or out or something, they kind of put some weight on this. I really don't want this to flex. So I think what I'll do is I'll kind of create probably a support structure, just kind of maybe weld on some steel, kind of brace it up to here, just so if somebody puts some pressure on it, this doesn't take a lot of load. That's really, I think, the only part. So I'll look at doing that to both sides, but first I'm going to create the mounting holes kind of on the inside. So I'll take out the seat, drill some holes, put some rib nuts in, and that will be good for this one. All right, got this one kind of in place. Got it kind of all those fasteners on that side. I got two up here, and so it's really kind of secure all through here, and it's just right here that's just kind of, if you put a lot of pressure, it will kind of wiggle. So that's kind of the one spot I want to shore up, but other than that, I think it looks good. All right, I got this side buttoned up. This side kind of tended to go a little easier. One thing I'm noticing though, I'm gonna probably put a little heat to this, see if I can shape set it a little bit, because I'm having to, with the screws, I mean, basically the panel comes all the way out to this rail and even sometimes farther. So even to get it in, I kind of have to press it in and kind of flex it in. And that's where the seat goes. So again, I don't want to be scraping seats and stuff, getting it in and out. So I'm going to see if I can't kind of relax it a little bit in this shape. All right, I've got a couple more interior panels. These are kind of by the footwell. So I actually got one in place here that is kind of on the front side of the driver. It's kind of hard to see. But essentially this panel that I cut out here, it just kind of goes forward from there. And this one is the same thing, just on the passenger side. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill these and mount them. Just kind of make sure they're all in place. Then I gotta decide if I'm gonna do like vinyl or what to these panels. Okay, got that panel in. I realize a lot of acrobatics and you probably didn't see much. Let's see if I can show you a little better here. But that's the panel there. And so the more I'm thinking about it, I'm likely going to wrap this in vinyl, and so I think I'm going to do that one as well. And in the seam, I'll use some of that seam material. So I think that's what I'll do. First, I'll put in this other side on the passenger side, and then we'll probably take things apart. And I won't wrap this big one yet, but I can wrap those two little ones. My thought is I'm not exactly sure where I want the vinyl to stop and the paint to start. So this might all be vinyl, but it may just be like just to this front edge, and then the rest might be paint. So I will leave that for later, but for now, I'll do this side. All right, got this other panel in. This one was a little bit different. It actually extended out, so I tucked it underneath. I could kind of chop it off, so maybe I'll draw a line and kind of decide later. But that guy's all installed. All right, I started taking this off. I'm just not happy with it. So basically, anytime you get a deep sink, you get a lot of bunching. And this one, I think you just need to cut a relief and I'll have a seam, which is fine. But struggled with it so long that it started getting lumpy and other things. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, clean it up, and do it again. So the vinyl is kind of garbage, but if anybody wants to know, to clean off the adhesive there, all you need to do is get some mineral spirits, and that kind of cleans things up. Got this all wrapped. Sorry, I was kind of moving it all over the table, so it's probably out of focus sometimes. But actually did this in 2 sheets because this big kind of depression just gets so much material gathering that there's just no other way to do it. But I think I was able to do it kind of with, so I got the seams lined up just right, so you can't really see them kind of at arm's length. Obviously, if you get real close, you can, but because this is in the footwell, I think this will probably be good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap, this was the driver's side, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the passenger side. All right, got this one kind of wrapped up as well. Got a couple spots where the screws go and stuff, and then hopefully the carpet will come up over that. So this is kind of what this one looks like. All right, here's this panel. I tried to do it all in one piece and I thought that maybe I could stretch this around, but again, it's kind of these deep depressions that give me grief. Anywhere where you stretch, again, that's kind of easy, but where you have to kind of have it in a depression, it really tends to kind of wrinkle, or you can just span across. So I'm not loving this, so I'm gonna probably just, got a little blade here, I'll cut around it and put another piece on there. So again, just wasn't quite able to get it without it kind of puckering, stretching. So we'll make this one into 2 pieces. All right, that took a little longer than I thought, but I think we got it pretty good. So again, just kind of did the black vinyl all over here. For the pass-throughs, kind of did a slit and kind of tried to wrap the material around the best I could. I think it'll be okay. The the seat belts were a tight fit, but before I did this, I kind of made it a little bit wider. So I think that'll work though. And then, as I mentioned before, over here, it just couldn't get into the depressions. Again, to stretch it across is really easy, but try and tuck into the depressions and then kind of get it around. It usually just has so much material that it's really challenging. I'm sure a very talented person could do it, but I just created seams. And again, kind of at arm's length, you really can't see much. And again, this particular panel will be in the car behind the seats. Like the seats are gonna be here, so you're really not gonna see that. So I'm thinking if I did a good enough job, I probably won't add any seam material, but we'll see. Again, pretty pleased. I will mention that I did do some vinyl wrapping in previous videos, so if you want to check that out, click on the link. Okay, here are the 3 panels I wrapped. Again, driver footwell, passenger footwell, and then back here, this is just kind of the access panel. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these 2 in, and then what I really need to do is I need to put the shell on the car, and then we'll put this one in. Okay, we got them installed. The passenger and driver side, again, they're kind of a little more challenging to see once they're in the car, but so that's kind of this one. Again, it's kind of fastened up there and at the bottom. So again, where the fasteners are, you get a little bit of a bulge, but at the bottom, I think the carpet will kind of wrap up around. And at the top, you're not gonna be able to see unless you stick your head like under the dash. So I think we're good there. I'll walk you around to the other side. And then this is the passenger footwell. So, and again, it's kind of it'll be dark, it'll be down. Again, I'm not worried. I was worried, you know, when it's on my bench and I can see it real well, I was worried about the seams, but when it's down under there, I did a pretty good job. And again, you're not gonna be able to see with it being dark and stuff. So got those in. Next, got to get on the shell and put in the access panel. Okay, I got the shell back right side up, put it on the car. A lot easier process this time. So now we'll see kind of how the whole panel situation works with the panels I cut out. And that panel will kind of make sure everything works. The other thing I'm interested in is how to put the seats in. All right, I thought I'd show real quick. Again, access panel. So again, I've got lots of good access to some things that I put up here. Kind of same on the other side. So I'm gonna put the access panel in place and then see if I can put the seats in. Just again, space is tight, so we'll see what we can do. All right, it was a tight squeeze, but able to just kind of drop seats in and out, which is good. Before, again, where I hadn't yet fastened that to the steel, it was kind of sticking out enough that you just couldn't fit it down. So again, with it sucked up and get these in and out, that one's not bad. Screws are fairly accessible. This one's actually not too bad either, but the one screw kind of right up here, where the bolt is really challenging. So it's actually a bracket. So what I have to do is, instead of kind of bolting it in from that way, I've got to get the other one and bolt it in from underneath on that side. So not the biggest deal. I got, again, panels in and the access panel. Again, I was thinking this would be kind of behind the seats, which it is, but this part right here is a little more prominent. So I will get some of the seam material and kind of put that up and around. But that's kind of what it's looking like. The other thing is, because these are no longer connected, this is kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but basically it can flex in and out a lot more. And so what I need to do is I need to kind of get that up and in and kind of fasten all underneath. I don't know that I'll do just without my lift. it makes it quite challenging to try and get under here because it's so low to the ground. So I might wait to do those for another day. We'll see. All right, so I've got to get under here because I've recessed this back. The holes that I had before are not in the right place. So I just need to drill some holes, and then I can fasten the essentially the last part of the, I don't know what you want to call it, the under panel there, along with the rear diffuser. So I'll drill some holes, put the fasteners in, probably see how the deck lid's fitting, maybe dress some things up there. I'm really anxious though to get some tires back on, just kind of take it out for a spin. Alright, got it together. I had to use the jack, just again kind of bad leverage, but I had kind of like this much gap. I had to kind of push it up and then put the bolts in. So they're in. I might kind of put the little heat lamp here to see if I can't get it to relax a little bit more to shape. But that's what it looks like. Alright, I also kind of wired up my tail lights. Come on both sides. I've got a couple other things that I need to figure out. So this is kind of the backup camera, so that's going to have to go through somewhere. And these are kind of the lights to go on your license plate. I also have these kind of sequential turn signals. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with those yet, but I've got them wired up. So the other thing I got to kind of put through here is right here, the charge port. Again, my thought is probably through the license plate area. So I'm not going to do that right now, but kind of excited to get things wired up. All right, I apologize. I'm doing this while my neighbor's mowing his lawn, but I just want to check brake lights, turn signals, and reverse lights. So here we go. These are park lights. All right, we were pretty close. It's interesting. So I'll say the park light was working on this one, just not the reverse light. So it makes me think that when I put on my connector, that I didn't have one. I'm like probably one pin off on where I soldered things. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this for a drive, but then we'll go ahead and fix that.
Yeah, sitting in. Nice. You put the seatbelt on.
This is quite the project car.
Oh, this thing is so silent.
Yeah.
It's your YouTube feed that you try to get going here with your camera. This thing is awesome.
This thing is cool. Yeah, so I haven't touched the brakes yet.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you just slow down. Oh, you haven't hit the brakes. The brakes were. You just haven't had the brakes. Oh, this is a regenerative. Yeah, you take it off. I've driven a Tesla. It's weird because the minute you take your foot on the gas, it just immediately slows down. And this is a serious project. Yeah. Okay. This thing's awesome. These are all just your power things running the back wheels.
So those are all 12-volt systems. Things like
Oh, okay.
brakes. Oh, yeah, signals.
Do all of the wheels have power to them? No? Just the front? Just the back? Okay, so just rear wheel drive. Yes! There it goes! Alright.
Okay. Tell me, do you want to go slow or a little bit fast?
Fast.
Okay, ready? How was that?
Good.
Was that too fast for you? Did it scare you a little bit? Was that a fun time?
Nice.
Alright.
Whoa! It's just amazing how quiet it is.
Go like really slow like this or fast? Is that fast for you? You like that? Slow again? Or fast? You're sure? Okay, better put your arms up.
That was fun.
All right, well, we got some of those interior panels wrapped, got things put back together. That's going to do it for this week. See you next week.